Hello, my loves. I have a little bit of a story time for you guys, and it's actually a very important one for my sellers. So if you sell anything, please listen up, especially my crafty ladies. A little while ago, I posted this video regarding my first chargeback, and I talked a little bit about what it was like as a seller to receive that experience and kind of go through the process of disputing a chargeback claim. Well, guess what? We're also consumers, and I had a new follower who reached out to me and said, hey, I'm a small business owner too, but I have a situation where I'm a consumer and I feel like I may need to file a chargeback claim, but I don't want to hurt this small business. I tried reaching out to the seller. They're not responding to me, and I need to know what to do because I don't want to hurt a small business, but I also don't want to lose my money. Valid points. So this is what I said. So the first piece of advice that I gave her was, you're going to reach out to the seller once again. I know we're busy as sellers, but guess what? At the end of the day, we wear many hats. We don't have an entire manufacturing crew. We don't have hundreds of people that we're employing to take care of customer service and shipments and billing. We don't have that. We are the jack of all trades. So you have to understand that if a customer reaches out to you and says, hey, I need help finding out what's going on with this package, customer service is that next hat that you're going to wear, and respond in a timely manner. Now, if you can't get back to someone right away, if you can't do same business day responses, it is your job to set up an auto reply out of your inbox to make sure that there is an expectation that is set on how quickly you can respond to customer requests. That's something super easy, super simple to set up, especially if you have Gmail as your email provider, or if you're using Microsoft Office, any of those. You can send out auto replies. So as soon as you get an inbox email from someone, it lets them know that you are not going to get back to them within an X number of days. Or if you're on vacation and out for the summer, you need to also make that expectation clear when people reach out to you, especially your customers, that it may take you a little longer to respond to an email, but that you will get back to them. That auto reply at least gives them the warm and fuzzies that someone is monitoring that inbox and they're just not going to get crickets back. So with that understanding, I told her to please give the seller 2 full business days, and that's not including weekends or holidays. Give the seller 2 business days to respond to your email. And in your email, you're going to request, number 1, for a package trace to be done. That is something that as a seller, you can request from the USPS or any carrier really to find out where your package is. Number 2, if it's been 15 calendar days, not business days, but 15 calendar days from the time the Postal Service received that package, you do not have to wait as a seller to file a claim on that package. If the package ends up getting to the customer, fantastic. If during this process, the moment that claim is put, they do the package traces and everything all at once, fantastic. They figure out whether the package is lost, damaged, it just won't get there, or if it will get there, and they will actually update the status so that you can give your customer the information that they need. But if you find out that, yeah, the package was damaged, because things can happen. We can't control anything once it leaves our hand, but we can control the outcome for our customer. So if we find out the package is lost, damaged, stolen, whatever the situation may be, at this point, as a seller, you have the ability to give the customer a refund. So that way they know they weren't scammed out of their money. You can at least be like, okay, I've got the claim in. The Postal Service has confirmed they can't find the package. My claim is going to get processed. So you're still going to get your money back as a seller. You've given your customer that peace of mind and that understanding that, oh my gosh, they take care of their customers. I'm a customer for life. I know that they are going to take care of me if something ever happens in the future. Let me take that refund and place another order because obviously they did their part. Let me place another order and hopefully this time we get a better experience. However, I always like to play the devil's advocate. So what happens if the seller doesn't get back to her? What happens if there's no communication? The Postal Service still hasn't delivered her package. I told her to please give the seller one more try, right? Not every seller is well versed in making sure that they have auto responses on or to respond in a timely manner. And what if the email just keeps going into spam, right? So I told her to please give the seller one more opportunity and to hold on to all of her communication because it will come in handy if she does have to file a chargeback claim. So in that email, I told her to please let the seller know she's given her ample opportunity and time to respond. She is going to file a chargeback claim 48 hours after she sends this email if she does not hear back from the seller. Because at this point, she has her hands tied. She is just the consumer. She doesn't have the ability to file claims and stuff like that because she wasn't the one who purchased the label. That is on the seller. So she has, at that point, done every bit of due diligence as a customer, tried multiple outreaches to the vendor, reached out to the USPS as much as they could to get updates on their package. And at that point, she's given the seller more opportunities than a lot of people give sellers to be able to communicate. So when I mentioned that I wanted her to keep everything in writing, it's for this reason. If as a consumer, you've tried multiple ways to reach out to a vendor and they're not responding and you didn't get an auto response that says, hey, it takes us 3 to 5 business days to respond to customer emails, or hey, this inbox is not monitored, please contact us XYZ way, then it is the expectation that that consumer will hear from you by sending you communication. They cannot control what spam filters you have and things like that. So make sure all of your inbox requirements are set up front so that you're not having to face issues like this in the future. And that if your customers email you, it ain't going to a junk folder that you possibly are not checking. I will update you guys if there's any further updates with this follower. For my sellers, understand that we are the Jack or the Jills of all trades when it comes to our businesses, and there is no exception for the customer service that we're supposed to give. And if there is a lack thereof, it will be noticed, and you may not necessarily have the repeat customers that you're expecting. Don't forget, it's much more expensive to gain new customers than it is to keep the ones you gained already. So I love you guys. I hope this information helps. And please, if you are a consumer and you're working with a small business, give that person at least the courtesy of reaching out 3 different times to them. Try to reach out to them on their website, via phone and email. Keep a log of all of your outreaches, because then it is not on you that you have to do that chargeback. That would be very validated if you've given them ample time to respond and they haven't responded to you or helped you in acquiring your package, especially if they sent it out. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day.